Congress's first session back after their August break is complete, but what did they do? Here are the newts. The House passed 8 measures. The Stop Chinese Fentanyl Act of 2025, sponsored by Representative Andy Barr, imposes sanctions on Chinese producers of synthetic opioids and opioid precursors. Next, sponsored by Rep. Thomas Kean, the Undersea Cable Control Act, requiring the President and Department of Commerce to take actions to prevent foreign adversaries from acquiring material related to undersea cable projects. Third, the Uyghur Policy Act of 2025, from Rep. Young Kim, would support the human rights of the Uyghurs and members of other minority groups within the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Next, sponsored by Rep. Gregory Meeks, the Haiti Criminal Collusion Transparency Act, requiring the Secretary of State to submit annual reports and impose sanctions on the ties between criminal gangs and political and economic elites in Haiti. Fifth, the Armor Act, sponsored by Rep. Young Kim, modifies provisions related to defense trade among Australia, the UK, and the US. Next, from Rep. Michael Baumgartner, a bill requiring the Secretary of State to implement expedited and fixed timelines for the decision-making process to license the export of certain defense articles and services. Seventh, the FMS Only List Review Act, sponsored by Rep. Sherry Biggs. The bill requires the Department of State to conduct an annual review of defense items that can only be sold via FMS, that should also be sold via DCS. Finally, sponsored by Rep. Joaquin Castro, the Partner Act. This act extends diplomatic privileges and immunities to certain international and regional organizations. We now await these measures to be sent over to the Senate. In the Senate, one bill passed its chamber vote. The Trace Act, sponsored by Senator Thomas Tillis, directs the Attorney General to include a data field to be able to indicate whether the last known location of a missing person was confirmed or suspected to be on federal land. The Senate also passed the cloture motion of the National Defense Authorization Act. They will now move forward with debate on this measure. Beyond passing measures, 3 bills were reported to the Senate and 39 pieces of legislation were introduced across both chambers. That's your day on the Hill. If you have questions or would like more information, let us know. Follow Newt, your source for clear, fact-based Congress updates.